Hello everyone, welcome to another interactive session with Inside Sports. And today we are privileged to have Carla Jade, the star BKFC ring girl, and also the founder of Finesse Fitness Girl. So glad to have you here, Carla, first of all.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me.
And so I just wanted to know how's 2023 been so far for you, and how's this like? What are your plans for the next this upcoming year?
It's been great. It's been amazing. Quite short. I don't even know what date it is actually. Super busy as always. I had some time off for Christmas, but then we've just been straight back to it. Sort of boxing and bare knuckle and MMA, everything. It tends to take a break now until about February. So I've just been busy with the content and the admin and event staff and modelling side of the company. But yeah, it's been really busy. Thankful to be here for another year. Feeling pretty blessed. So yeah, excited.
So I just have to ask you about this, like BKFC bare knuckle. It has seen a prominent rise in the like past few years because BKFC is something like it has been really great so far, and the ring girls are one of the major reasons why the attraction have been onto the sport. So, how do you see yourself or the other ring girls' role in bringing more attention to BKFC?
Yeah, I think definitely. So we do the BKFC UK. They have BKFC over in America, and they have their bare knuckle bombshells there. They're incredible. Like you say, they bring loads of attention to the show. So same over here. As I said, they've grown a lot in America. We're on our second show. It'll be the third one in March for the UK. So yeah, we just love being there, interacting with the crowds. We love doing interviews. We make a load of content, always doing, TikToks. We're girls, so you can imagine what we get up to, and our YouTube and things. So yeah, just being as excited as the fans are really, and help sharing how amazing the promotion is.
So, like we all know that you don't have to be a sports fan to do this job, but obviously, when you're seeing action, so many great fights in front of you, how soon do you transition to becoming a sports fan? Like, have you seen
It's
somebody come up
funny
into the
because yeah, even myself, I like kickboxing things for fitness, and I like boxing and things. So I had an interest in it, but I didn't tend to enjoy watching it as much. It was more like the physical side of it. And then as soon as I was at the fights, and when you're ringside and you're that close, you get to see everything. And then if you when we keep going to leagues, you sort of build a rapport with people. Which fighter's which, who's been fighting against, and the interest sort of grows every time. But I think one of the main things is, especially at a bare knuckle event, when you're that close in the action, you're at the prelims and the weigh-ins, and everything that's going on. It is really exciting.
now, a lot of people like have different opinions about ring girls. Like we saw Khabib Nurmagomedov say that they don't
Yeah,
really are
Mr.
important,
Khabib.
and like a lot of people have got like mixed reactions to this. But the reality is, a lot of people don't know about the job profile that you guys carry on, or the things that you guys actually do, or the way you promote the fight. So I just want you to reflect on the real struggles about doing this job that
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can understand Khabib's or anyone's point. You might think, what's the point? Why are they there? We know what round it is. You can just put number two up on the screen and people know. But I think it's with anything, like the company, it's called Finesse. So the girls, we add a bit of finesse to the events. I think anywhere where you have, attractive ladies and us bringing in our sort of crowd, like you say, it's not just the men that can like boxing. The models and the ring girls, they take an interest in it too. But like you said, it is more than just holding the card up. It is tough work, but like I said, there's lots that goes on behind the scenes, especially for myself. Obviously, I run the company, so I manage the girls. I deal with the clients. We sort the outfits. We sort the schedule, things like that. And I like I said, I will sympathise with maybe Khabib doesn't know, and people don't know what we do, and I think it would easy to assume that I'm a ring gal. I ring gal once a month. and then I just go to sleep for the rest of the time and I do anything else. But most of the girls that I hire and that I work for, they're usually studying, or they have another main job. This is something that, you know, they really enjoy. It's so much fun. They get to travel and hang out with everyone, and also it's boosting their income at the same time. Because it's not often that a ring girl will just be a full-time ring girl. That's all they do, you know, even if it's a sort of similar theme, like they might model, or, you know, we have actresses and things like that. It's a lot more. I think you could understand if, yeah, just one day a week I had to hold a card, or one day a month and then went back to bed. But, you know, there's a lot more. And it's, like I said, when we're at the weigh-ins and things like that, it's very serious. We need to know what's going on. We need to make sure we're on time, we're in our place. We know where the cameras are, we know where the lightings are, you know, the smoke. We don't want to get knocked out by something. So, yeah, it's a lot tougher. And I think as well, like with me especially, I did want to just be more than a ring girl. I did want to do more. I quickly understood that I love ring girling so much, but me just ring girling at the weekend is not going to pay my bills. It's not going to, you know, for any of my dreams and stuff like that. But I love it so much. So I thought, you know, why not build the agency? As I said, we have the events, we have the models, we have loads of stuff going on. So I think, you know, anything, you could look at any sport, like or any job, sorry, you could say, you know, a footballer, oh, you know, that's not very hard. He just kicks the ball up and down and he gets paid all this money. Well, actually, you try and, you know, run like they do, pass their fitness test, be as strict, spend time away from your family. The same with, you know, any profession, you know, whatever you take it for, there's sides of it people don't see, and, you know, it is a tough job, but I'm not going to complain because I love it so much and I wouldn't want to do anything else.
Yeah, absolutely love it, because like despite like setting up the Finesse group where you are the CEO and you can actually look into and concentrate into the business side of the model, you're still showing up for the event. So firstly, I want to know what inspired you to start the Finesse group. Like, how did the idea struck to your mind where you wanted to look into the business side of this thing?
Yeah, so I originally started, so obviously I ring girled, so I used to actually work in a school. I was an early years practitioner before I started ring girling, and then I was like modelling at the weekends, just for fun really. You know, I had an okay salary for my job. I just enjoyed doing it and the interaction with people and travelling. And I first started as really like hostessing event staff and stuff like that. And I think that was my real taste of sort of the business world. And, you know, I was working for another agency at that point. When you start doing the maths, figure out how everyone else is getting paid, you know, how am I going to generate more money? How can I push it? I'm only one person. I can only be in one place at one time. And I think a lot of my clients, they would comment, you know, you do a great job. Can we just deal with you directly? And so that repeated. So I thought I could probably just set up my own agency. And everyone was always asking me for gals, you know, bring this girl. Have you got another girl? Can you do this for me? And then I was doing the outfits and stuff. And I thought, you know, I'm not getting enough money for this. I need to set something up of my own and build something. And then the ring girls came a little bit later on, because as I said, the sort of money and side of the business comes from the events and things. You know, we obviously make money as ring girls. My ring girls make money, but the Finesse ring girl side was more like the promotion. You know, we do the events, we have the models. I really wanted to show everyone sort of how amazing this side of the job was as well. And like you said, I show up to the events, I'm always there. It can get boring sometimes at these expos and exhibitions and stuff. So I thought, how can I, you know, do what I love and have it funded as well, and be able to sort of take money from that side of the business to invest into the ring girls, you know, take us on fun trips, do a lot of fun stuff. So yeah, that's how I really started. And then it just, you know, fingers crossed, touch wood, it just kept growing and growing. We didn't really do any advertising. It was more like word of mouth. Then I built my website. It took me a long time, but I built the website and we started adding the girls. And then just as more as I sort of met new people, started socializing with more business level sort of people going up and up, realized what more I needed to do for the company to keep making it bigger and bigger. And yeah, I'm just feel really happy about where we are and how we're getting along, because it's nice to be able to wake up every day and, you know, my work is what I absolutely love. Like I have to sort of take a step back sometimes and think, you know, I'm not a millionaire by any stretch and things like that, but it is, you know, very blessed to be able to wake up and do what I love and share it with other girls as well. It's really nice.
Like you have not only hosted BKFC like events, you have also been into boxing events, pro box events, and right now into the
Yeah,
other side of the business. So I just wanted to know, how do you want to set up this Finesse group that you already have that is really doing great? Because like how do you want to like stand it out from the rest of the other ring girl organizations or promotions?
yeah,
Because like it's not just about like having pretty women and all. So how do you want to like what's your X factor with this group?
yeah. I think with Finesse, you know, that's a question our clients might sometimes ask. You know, why should we put with you? So what are we going to get from you guys? But I think if you sort of do your research, have a look. We tend to offer a bit more than other sort of agencies, or you know, you can book direct with ring girls and staff. You won't get the sort of business care package that we provide. You know, I'm there, I'll sort everything out for you. If a girl's not well, I will get the other girl there. I will sort your outfits for you. We provide ring cards. We create content. We can help you sell your tickets. We can, you know, do, if you've got a sponsor that they work with, a drinks company, we'll help them promote that, things like that. And like you said, just bringing more attention and different demographics to the shows and things like that. But yeah, definitely, as I said, it's all very fun. Nothing ever seems like actual work or hard work. But so taking it back, yeah. So I think we just, and like I said, I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't think you'll find another sort of like agency owner who is that obsessed with how I am. You know, I breathe it, I live it every day. It's all I do. I'm always on my laptop, or I'm always, you know, doing something for the girls, editing something for them, booking them. I've just ran from another meeting and I'm like, I've got to go, I've got things to do. But yeah, I think that's what sets us apart. And all of our girls, I make sure, you know, we're hiring lovely, nice, friendly girls, you know, that like to smile, they like to interact. We're all going to get along. I've been in situations where I've shown up to a job and the other girl might not be very nice and things like that. But you can, when you join the Finesse team, it's a real team. It's a family. We hang out, we do stuff. Yeah, I think that from a sort of the girls' point of view as well.
Like you've got the full plan for your business, like you're really doing great. I just wanted to know, how do you keep up with the pace? Because like it's really a tough, like you're running through the meetings, you have your own workout schedule, you have your business side to look for, and then you have to look for the events that you're working for, if it's BKFC or Pro Box. So like how do you manage with your schedule and how do you like schedule your day?
I don't know why, but I just don't seem to get tired. So that's a good thing. I'm thankful for that. I wake up probably about 6 a.m. and I don't have an alarm. I just wake up. And like, because I work from home, I can work anywhere. You know, I'm in the office today, but I just really, like I said, I spend my whole day doing it. So I don't know. I don't want to sort of like brag, but it's not that. It's really hard and there's hard work involved. But so long as I'm on the ball and I'm just working all the time, it's fine. And I think the difference is in another job that you know, it's not for you, it's not your company, or not, you know, something you want to do. You're just doing it because you need the money, which, you know, we've all done. I've been there for years. But with this, I love it. So really, I'm like, yeah, I want to get up. I want to get on my laptop. Oh, I was talking to that client about this. Oh, I wanted to send this girl here. She'll be buzzing to hear that. And I just really love it. So it's never really a chore.
Now I just want to know, like, we all know BKFC is a crazy sport, like crazy is combat. We all come across crazy experiences going into mixed martial art. And being a ring girl, you clearly have a lot of fans. So any crazy fan experience that you recall or that has remained with you throughout your life?
So I wouldn't say a fan experience, but there is. You can have a little look. I might send it to you. But there's a video, and I'm doing my rounds at one of the fights, and there's a boxer, and he's on his like on the stool in the corner. It's obviously timeout time, and he's like tapping his corner guy, and he's like, look at her bum. So I have a cherry tattoo on my bottom. So it often gets talked about when I'm at the events, because obviously we wear those tiny outfits. And he's like knocking on this guy, and he's like, look, and then it just went viral everywhere. And I woke up the next day and everyone was like, I didn't know you had a cherry on your bum, like people that don't know me from Ringo and stuff like that. And then I'd go to events and they'd be like, cherry, and I'd be like, how do they know? And so I say that's more of a funny story. Crazy, just the fights are insane at BKFC, like they're insane. And I think, you know, when you watch obviously the boxing, even MMA, they have their gloves, they have their pads. With this, it really is just hardcore. I'm going to take your chin off. There's blood everywhere. I tend to always get blood on me. BKFC are nice enough. They don't make us go in the actual ring. I think that's why we walk around, because it's a bit icky in there, maybe. Like I said, there's always blood. But yeah, just loads of funny stuff happens at the weigh-ins as well. Last time we had a guy tweak one of the other guys as a joke. Like, just the weirdest stuff happens. But like I said, we love it. It's the fans are always lovely as well. They're always happy to see us and fuss over us, which makes us feel nice.
I just wanted to ask you, like, with fan platforms like opening up, you've seen a lot of fighters, a lot of ring girls actually like opening up into the OnlyFans, or like
Yeah.
putting themselves with the fans platform. But we have seen people react mixedly to it. Like WWE recently sacked Mandy Rose for her fan content. So what's your take on this?
Oh,
Like, a
wow.
lot of people like offer mixed reactions. So how do you see it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, good question. And obviously BKFC are actually sponsored by OnlyFans. So I think with anything, you know, it's always dangerous when you take one small thing that someone does and sort of wrap it around the whole of their character. I think, you know, OnlyFans, like any other platform that helps people make money, because I was going to say girls, but it's girls and boys. There's a couple of the BKFC fighters actually that were shouting out their OnlyFans at the event last time, and I was like, "Well, you guys want OnlyFans? That's funny." I haven't got one myself, but a lot of the girls we work with, a lot of the girls I know, they do. I think it's a great form of income for anyone. But like I said, with everything, just make sure it's not your whole life. It's not everything you're doing. You do have, you know, other things, because it's easy, especially for us ring girls, to get put in the, oh, she's just a silly ring girl, she doesn't know anything, no, she's in her head, you know, she hasn't achieved anything, because you might, you know, look at OnlyFans on its own and say, you know, that wasn't very hard, that's easy. But, you know, a lot of these girls are making an absolute fortune. You know, I know no one would turn down that sort of money themselves, I'm sure. So you have to give that, you know, credit where it's due for the hard work to pull that off. And a lot of the girls, they take the money and they're turning them into, you know, we have girls that open like salons to help further education. A lot of them have families they're supporting, and a lot of them actually just really enjoy just creating the content and doing it. So yeah, I think everything obviously do within, you know, don't go crazy with it. Yeah, like I said, even BKFC, you know, there's rules. You know, you can't knee someone in the face and things like that. So I think with everything, just so long as you're doing what you're doing with a good head on your shoulders, I think OnlyFans is great. You know, to the amount of avenues it's opened up for people that, you know, needed a bit of extra income, and girls that, because there's lots of beautiful girls and there's lots of you know, hot guys, and there's a market out there for it, so why would they not sort of take advantage of it? I do get why people might have a negative view around it, but it really is your sort of personal thing. And one with me is you know, I'm not your dad, I'm not your mum. Who am I to tell anyone how to live their life? I'm sure there's 100 things I've done that people wouldn't agree with, maybe my tattoo on my bum. Like, you know, so who are we to judge? If you're then taking that money that you earn and doing bad things with it, then, you know, I've got something to say about it. Or if, you know, it's you know, so long as you're happy with it as well, so long as you're enjoying what you're doing and that's because you want to do it, I think everyone do whatever you want, just, you know, be happy.
Like the way you mentioned about your tattoos, so I just wanted to know how many tattoos you actually got.
I got quite a few. I think I got 8 or 9. You can see some of them here. I got one here. It says, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." My dad is quite religious, and I really wanted a tattoo. And I was like, well, if I get that, he'll be really impressed. He wasn't impressed at all.
What was the ideas of these tattoos?
So going back to the cherry, I went on holiday with my best friend. I'm always traveling, but I say I've only ever actually been on 2 holidays because all of my travel is always work. So, and it was about over 10 years ago, I think it must have been. And we were just having a lovely time, maybe 1 or 2 cocktails too many. And she dared me and she said, yeah, let's go and get tattoos. And I was like, oh, okay then. And it was the first day of the holiday as well. So it was the most annoying time because obviously I had to have it like big cling film across my bum for the rest of it. And I was in a bikini on the beach and everyone was like, what is she doing? But yeah, and she went, yeah, let's get this tattoo. Came in, went in, came out, and I went, what did you get? And then she went, I didn't get a tattoo. She went, no, I just got my tongue pierced. I can't believe you got an actual tattoo. Oh my God. And I was just like, what? So, and at first I was like a bit annoyed. I was like, you tricked me, because the rule was we had to let the artist pick whatever he wanted. So I did, and that's what he chose. And I was like, oh, you've mugged me off there. But now it makes me laugh. It's a memory. It's a talking point. Other ones of my tattoos, I have some writing here. It's just about finding your soulmates. I have a butterfly here. I think that was the first one I got. I was just quite young. I think actually, I can't remember who it was, but a footballer's girlfriend had it. And in my young era of, I just want to do what those girls do, I thought that would be quite cool. I can't remember what one it was now, but yeah, I just thought, yeah, I'll get that. But yeah, so that's the tattoos. I haven't got any piercings, just my ears. I used to have my belly. But yeah.
Like, obviously you're an interactive person, like fans really love to know about you, but like, what is the other side of Carla Jade that fans really don't know about? Like something that you can know. Obviously fans can get access to your social media, but something that fans don't know about you, if you would love to bring up.
Yeah, no, that's a good question, because I am quite, it's funny because I say I post all the time and I'm always doing something. But it's always work. So I feel like I share everything with the world, but I don't really, because it's always just work. Something people don't know about me, or like how my life is. I'm a real family person, so I'm always looking after the family. It's funny because although I love being out and doing stuff like that, I'm quite like an old lady, really. Like I go to bed early if I can. I don't really drink and go out partying and stuff like that. But I think the reason is because when we're at work, we might have after parties there, and work itself is so much fun. I don't really need to do anything because I have so much fun at work, and even like when we're traveling, we had an expo in Malta last month. The sunshine's there, so I can go in and chill out. The girlies at work, I enjoy myself doing that. So I think the biggest secret is probably that I'm just a big boring old lady that does absolutely nothing apart from work. But like I said, when you do what you love, you don't really have to like take days off and stuff like that. So yeah,
like when you're not working, like when you're not into your like BKFC role, or when you're not into your modeling role, how do you like spend your day, or what do you do generally when you have got no work to do? So like, how do you spend your day?
That never ever happens. I've always got something to do. Even now, I'm always, I don't want to say behind, but there's always something in my to-do list that I can do. But I like going to the spa, to be honest. I don't want to keep putting myself in these boxes, but I do enjoy going to the spa, going away, like a city break. Do you know what I actually really love? So I went to Prague a little while ago, because you can't shoot guns in the UK, obviously. So we have like shooting ranges, but they're not like proper. So I said, I really want to go to Prague and shoot some guns, and everyone thought I was crazy. But I just done that, and that was so fun. I had like an AK, all the different types of guns, and I was up against all these, not up against, but you share sort of like the session with other people. There's the cars that come out and you shoot them, and you had like packages, and they were all lads. I was the only girl, and they would pick like the 1 gun package or the 2 gun, and I was like, no, I want all the guns. I want that unlimited. So I had like these massive guns. It was so much fun. It really was. So I like, yeah, stuff like that. I like fun stuff like active stuff. I want to go to America next to shoot some guns, because I feel like it might be fun there. Last time I went to Miami, I tried to find some time, but I didn't. But apparently it's really good over there.
Now, obviously, you're from UK and you've been doing pretty well in UK, and obviously, everybody would want to expand their business. But apart from like, what are the main goals for the Finesse Fitness Group that like really motivates you right now? Like, if you can reveal some of them.
Yeah, for sure, great question. So we last year we did actually open up to America with the ring girls. With our event staff and models, we're sort of international. So the girls for that, they travel wherever. We have Dubai in March is our next overseas one we have. But for the ring girls, definitely America and Dubai. We have a model board for America and Dubai now. We've got lots of girls out there. We had our first event in Dubai and a couple in America last year. So that was great. So definitely just pushing that, and really everywhere. We've got March, we will be with MTGP, Muay Thai Grand Prix in France. We've got a couple of shows in Amsterdam. So just really pushing it as far as we can go, having the girls absolutely everywhere. And like I said, you'll see more of the girls doing interviews, more sort of content, TikTok, YouTube stuff. We're going to keep pushing that. We've got a podcast starting up soon, which is really exciting. We'll be having the boxers on, the fighters on for interviews and things like that. So like I said, with the Finesse, it's, although it, it makes it money, it's my dream side of the business. So that's where I really sort of invest in and push all my time. And I just love it so much. So I just want it absolutely everywhere. I want as much girls as we can enjoying it and having fun. I want as much clients having great shows of us there. And yeah, so that's it really. Just global domination, world domination. I'll have the girls in space if we can.
Like, obviously, you have got the social media expertise, I would say. You know how to handle social media. You're there on TikTok. So I'm just going to ask you something really out of the box, but I think you're someone who is relevant to answer this. Now, Andrew Tate, we all know about him. Like, Andrew Tate has been on the news for quite some time. There are people who actually hate Andrew Tate, who have been really critical. Like, he's obviously banned from major social media platforms. And like, there are people who have been supporting Andrew Tate. So I just want to know, what's your take on like this entire scenario? Do you think Andrew Tate deserves to get banned from TikTok or the major social media platforms?
Good question. I'm glad you brought the topic up because, like you said, a lot of people are talking about him. I don't think it's fair to ban anyone from anything for having an opinion and expressing their views, because I think that's what the ban was for. It says he's inciting all these young males to think this and this, but I don't think it's fair to say to someone, just because you have a view and you're expressing it, you are in charge of anyone else who listens to that view. And also I think it's fair to point out that I haven't really heard him say anything that I don't agree with. And I know I'm going to get probably shot down by a few people, but if you really look at what he talks about and what he's promoting, it's the same thing I want. I don't want a weak, and I'm sorry if I offend the weak guys out there, but I don't want to, and when I say weak, I mean weak-minded. I want a confident man. I want a man that's going to get up every day and believe in himself, believe in me. Women, we have children. We want a partner that, is a good role model for our children, and things like that. So, and he promotes a lot of hard work and not being stuck in a negative mindset, which I really sort of use a lot every day. And actually I was watching a podcast, I don't know if it came directly from him or he took it from someone else, but he was talking about fear and how, and I use this a lot, as I said, and worrying and being anxious, because imagine if you're on a dark road and you think someone's chasing you. And I remember when I used to walk home, I used to have a boyfriend when I was younger, and I used to walk home at night. And I remember walking down this long red way, and I used to have my earphones in, and I'd go like that, and the whole way, and it would ruin the journey home. And by the time I got home, I was, oh, thank God I'm home. There was no one there, but there might as well have been someone there, because I was so scared the whole time. And it's the same thing as like, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. There's no point in worrying about things or being scared about things, because half the time the thing isn't even there and it's not going to happen. And if it does happen, then you've got the thing that's happened, and then you've got all the worrying before, and you've probably ruined a lot of things, you know, worrying, being anxious, you know, and stuff like that. So I think, and the same, you know, when he talks about, and again, I think, you know, he a lot of things are taken from other sources and things, so I don't want to, you know, all hail Andrew Tate. But a lot of things like depression and having a positive mindset, being in control of your own mind and believing in yourself as well. I think really when I listen to his podcasts and chats and things, I take that the same way that I know he says a lot of stuff about girls and women, and you know, he's misogynistic and stuff like this, but I don't know, I don't really disagree with the things that he says. I think it's, you know, he said something about if he's responsible for his woman and his woman's happiness, she needs to listen to him and stuff like that. If I've got a boyfriend or I have a man, if I go out at night, I want you to, you know, I want to feel safe with you. I want you to hold my hand. I want you to, you know, take my bag maybe, and I want you to get me in the car nicely. I want you to make me feel comfortable. But in the same way, I'm an independent woman. I think it's important that we can do it all ourselves first before we start relying on other people for happiness. But I don't want a man that, you know, is scared and is going to get me jumps. But sorry, I go off topic. But going back to the point, he says that if you want me to look after you and protect your happiness, don't go out in a miniskirt late at night, because and I'm responsible for telling you that. And it's true. If you're, you know, I know if I'm in love and I love my man and I'm looking up to him, when I'm in awe of him and I think he's amazing. So if he's got an opinion or something he wants to share, I'm going to be like, oh, okay, you know, otherwise I wouldn't be in with him in the first place. So I want him to keep me safe. I want him to share his ideas with me. I want him to comment on how I can be better. Same way I would expect him to want me to take that from him. You know, I might say, don't go and do that today because people might blah, 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 because it's a different aspect of me. Men know how men think. So if, you know, if your boyfriend tells you, if you go out walking in the club, get drunk in a little mini skirt, you're opening yourself up to certain things. I think that's true. I don't think for a minute anyone deserves to be, you know, have any bad experiences, be targeted, but I do think it's important, the points he makes about us as women protecting ourselves and not putting ourselves in vulnerable situations, because a lot of people always say to me like, oh, you're a ring girl, you're always in your little pants or your little top, do people grab you, do people do this? Absolutely not. That, number one, it doesn't happen. Is that they're well, like BKFC, they're proper organizations, we have our security, and I think people just don't do that anyway, really. But if I was walking around with a glass of wine in my hands, putting my arms all around the guys all the time, mingling up in the crowd, up in everyone's business, you know, hanging around the fighters, I'm going to be subjected to and open up myself to certain situations. You know, if I'm in my little pants, I'm not running around next to men with beer and stuff, because, you know, they're going to be drunk. They might do things that they might usually do. They might grab. I saw a video actually of a ringo. The guy grabs the girl's bum, and the promoter really tells him off because that's out of order. You know, she's there to do a job. Just because, you know, I'm in a little outfit, I've got makeup on, it doesn't mean like I'm there for you to grab and grope, which is important at the same time to remember. But really put yourself in situations that are logical, and you know, and yeah. But no, love Andrew Tate, to be honest. I think he's a great guy, and we used to go out, we used to do like events and things in London and Mayfair, and we met Tristan. We see Tristan a few times. I don't know where Andrew was, but I remember seeing at Tristan in a load of events. Don't remember anything sort of spectacular, but respectful guy, normal guy. You know, it's important as well that the crowds we were in, like I said, have a lot of high up business clients and stuff like that. When you see people around them crowds and they're doing certain things, they must be doing something right. That was, God, like 10, 15 years ago. Look where they are now, the type of money you know, they make, and the platform they have, and the opportunities they've been able to have. And the same with like Kanye West. Love Kanye. I'm a real advocate for someone who believes in something and isn't afraid to just push it. And I think that goes with anyone. Saying like you asking how do I think it's fair his platform got taken away. I don't think it's fair if anyone does. when you've got people like, we have a lady over here called Katie Hopkins, she says some stuff that, you know, aggravates a lot of people. She still has her platforms. So sometimes it's, in my opinion, it's not that necessarily they disagree with certain things people say. It's a control thing, and I don't think that's very fair. I think if, you know, we're going to treat everyone the same and say no one's allowed an opinion, there's going to be no Twitter, there's going to be no Instagram, there's going to be no anything, because there's nothing to post. I can't even tell you that I'm enjoying my cereal because that's my opinion. You know, this is a really nice cereal. Oh, I can't say that because, you know, I might, you know. And like I said, so long as you're inspiring people, being positive, talking about, you know, being a strong male and increasing your earnings and stuff like that, I don't see the negativity in that. I do know that he does like to say things sometimes in a certain way to aggravate people, but I think if people were going on at me so much, I'll probably lose my cool sometimes and say something. And you know, maybe he's tried to get views on a couple of occasions and like do that. And again, we're not entertainers, but you know, when you come on these platforms, that's what your thing is. So yeah.
Anything you want to say to your fans, or anything you want to say to the people who look up to you or want to join the like ringers associations, or like want to explore their lives? Any advice you want to give to those young people?
Yeah, for sure. I think in terms of being a ring girl or being a model, even like our hostesses, event stuff like that, I think the main thing, the sort of vibe I get from girls is they don't know whether, like, am I allowed to apply for this? Can I do this? I'm not a ring girl, but you know, we were all not ring girls once. We're just girls. You know, you don't need a lot of experience. I always say, so long as you're happy, smiley, confident, and even that confidence comes, you know, with events. When we have the girls at the first events and they've never done anything before, it will always be like, do you want to do round one? And then I'm like, yeah, you know, I do round one for them. They'll do number two. They'll be really sort of like, oh, everyone's gonna be, as soon as they do that first round and get into the ring or the cage, it's like all their troubles go, and they love it. It's like they've been there for years. So I think first off is you don't need any special badge or, you know, anything special to join up, so long as you're open-minded, happy, and you know, loving combat sports or boxing and things like that is great. But yeah, it really is a job for all girls. You know, we don't have any restrictions on sort of height, size, color, hair type, nail length. You know, anyone can join. Like I said, so long as you're here for a good time. And then in terms of so like trying to inspire other people, like I said, I wake up and I do what I love and I earn money from it, and you know, it's provided me quite a nice lifestyle. So don't be afraid to follow your dreams and do what you love. I remember I started the agency in 2019. And I was in a relationship at the time. I always tell this story because it makes me laugh. And I was making the outfits. So I was like designing them, and I used to take them to this printer and he'd get them printed, and I drew the logo and everything myself and designed that. And my boyfriend used to come every day and be like, oh God, she's doing that again. I'm like, oh, that waste of time. And I remember being like to him one day, and I wasn't very confident, and I was like, no, but this is going to be a real good thing, you know, like it's going to be great. I'm going to earn money, you know, I'm going to have fun, and it's going to be really good. And it's not that he didn't think it would be a good thing if it was done. He just didn't really believe that I would do it. And he's a lovely boy, you know, I'm not going to be horrible to him. He was like, why can't we go out for dinner? And I'm like, because I'm working, I'm trying to build something here. And then I said, you know, Conor McGregor, I said, when he was starting out and he was trying to be a fighter and he had no money, he had nothing, his girlfriend, you know, stuck by his side, and she made his meal preps, but she had no money herself, and she grafted and she provided and believed in him so he could go and live his dream. And look at him now. And he looked at me and he went, you're not Conor McGregor. And I was like, right, that's it, get lost. And we broke up, and now I have my agency, and I definitely got a message to say, you know, well done, you stuck at that. So yeah, don't let anyone tell you you can't. Same like Kanye West, you look at Kanye when he was starting out, and it's everyone really, the amount of no's you get, the amount of you know, do something else. And like I said, I was teaching before, I worked as an early years tech practitioner. So
yeah, Carla, like now just really talk about your personal life, like who are there in your family, how do your family react to your job, and like how do your friends react to your job? So anything about your personal life.
Yeah, so my daddy isn't here anymore, but he was sort of around when I started the business and things like that. I think my dad is and was the only person who could ever tell me what to do, and I listen. You know, I'm a nice girl, I'm a good girl, but he could say, you know, don't do this, and that would be it. I was, yes, daddy, of course. Everyone else, I'm like, I might park on the double yellow lines, don't tell anyone. You know, I sort of weave around the rules sometimes. But yeah, I remember when I first left my the job at the school, because obviously my dad was really proud. He was like, oh no, you know, what is this? You are not doing this. What is this though? I don't want to see my child and with her bum out riding around. And especially with that sort of like generation, my gran, like, she didn't even know what is a ring girl. Is it like, what are you doing? What is that about? So in that regards, he was sort of, not, I wouldn't say unhappy, but sort of like, that's not what we do. I don't know why you're doing that. As soon as sort of he understood that, you know, there's a bit more to it than that. He knows I'm a clever girl. You know, I went to uni, I have my degree and things like that. So he was happy with that. And I said, you know, this is what I'm doing now, deal with it, sort of thing. Because, and then, you know, he's helped my family out a lot. So when I'm earning money and I can, you know, do things and help them, everyone sort of be quiet. But in terms of friends and things, yeah, my friends think it's really cool. I think they hate me because I don't answer the phone. I'm so busy. So the one thing my friends would say is like, she does not answer the phone, she's useless because of her work. But I always invite the girls to the events. I've got a friend who lives in Newcastle, so we were just up at BKFC. Now I'm like, oh, I'll come to the event, you know, come and do this. So I'm sure they enjoy that side of things. They probably don't enjoy that I'm always busy. But yeah, I think in terms of what they have to say for it, no one's really, I think people are quite surprised because, like I said, in my day-to-day life, I don't run around like in my outfits all the time. And when you speak to certain people, they're like, oh, what do you do? Or, you know, someone might know me, not necessarily know I have the agency, and then they'll see something somewhere and they're like, is that you? Is that what you, I didn't know that. So it's usually like a shock or yeah, shock, something like that. But yeah, no, with everyone else, I remember my nanny as well. I have my family's Caribbean on my dad's side, so my nanny is a very I don't know what the word is, sort of fierce. You know, you don't be naughty at nanny's house, sort of things. And I remember she just really was laughing when I told her, and she went, what do you do? And then she just didn't really understand it, and she was like, what's the point in it? I don't get it. And then I said, you know, this is what you do. And she said, oh, well, be careful you don't get pulled into anything else more promiscuous. And I was like, nanny, that's not how it works out. We don't just accidentally start doing, you know, really terrible things. But yeah, other than that, my mum's really proud of me. She loves the company. Obviously I'm able to do all the things that I want to do and have money at the same time and pay the bills and stuff. So yeah, they're really happy. So long as I'm happy, I think my family and friends are happy.
So like also BKFC is one of the prestigious combat organizations in the world right now. And like you've
For
been one of the
sure.
start faces as the ringers. Like obviously people know you, people who follow BKFC, they know you. So I just wanted to know any of the experiences in the BKFC that has been special to you in like as a fight fan, I would say, like any of the fights or any of the activities from the fighters that really has
Yeah.
been through your mind. So
Yeah, so the fights are amazing. I always love the fights, and the weigh-ins are always fun because you're really close with them. You can hear the combos and stuff. We had a couple of fighters, Connor Tierney. I can't remember the other guy. His name, but bald guy, really big, mean looking guy. They came out, they had their face off, and in the face off, we've got a video on YouTube, but they're really giving it, like, he's angry and he's really giving it some, and he's like, I'm gonna like smash your face in, like, it's like, I'm ready. And it's good, it's nice to watch it. And then the next day you're like, oh yeah, it's these two, I wonder who's gonna win. And the guy who was giving it all of that actually lost. Connor won. You know, he was the smaller looking guy. Didn't look as mean. You know, he was still giving it some in the prelims and stuff. But it's nice seeing how those things play out and being like, you wasn't too gobby now, are you? You know, like, but they're all great guys as well. Like, you know, it's all part of the show and stuff like that. But they take it seriously, and I think especially with bare knuckle, you can't take getting smashed in the face lightly like that. So, you know, but I know that I saw one of the American fighters, I don't know who it was, but BKFC in America. One of the girls, when she won, she jumps up on the ring and gets her boob out. And it went wild, everyone. A few people were like, oh, that's a bit disrespectful. But I think the most part, the articles and the stuff I saw on it, people thought it's quite funny. So nothing too crazy like that has happened in the UK just yet, but I wouldn't put it past anyone, because it's a crazy. The girls' fights are crazy as well. Again, my memory's always awful, but there were 2 fighters. I think one, Melinda Mel, she won, but you get people that aren't happy. So we had the girls won at events last time, didn't go obviously the way she wanted it to. The swear words were shouted, and you get to see, like I said, we're right up and personal, so we can see what goes on. And you guys might think, oh, she's not had a picture, we don't know why, but we know it's because she ran out of the thing because she was angry. You know, not necessarily this one, but yeah, things like that happen. Like I've seen at the first event, someone's tooth came out in the cage. So yeah, just stuff like that.
So like also, I just wanted to lastly ask you about your fitness and your workout. Obviously, fitness is one of the prime aspect, and as we can see, like you have obviously maintained your physique, you've maintained your shape. So how difficult is it? Like obviously, we have been through a festive season recently, and a lot of people are
Yeah,
complaining that it's hard to go back to gym. So like, what's
no,
your
it
advice
is
for
for sure. It's for sure. I'm one of those people. So I haven't actually,
that?
I haven't been to the gym now since it's so bad because November was crazy busy for me. Like November, we had so much going on. I couldn't even breathe, let alone go to the gym. So I haven't actually been to the gym since November. I'm going to be one of them annoying people that you see in the gym that you're like, you wasn't here the last 2 months. Why are you here now? New me, new year, new me. But no, once I'm in the zone, that's it. I can't get out of it. But I think that's why I've taken a little break, because I know there's so much work going on. When I'm in the gym, I'm in the gym. I only spend an hour a day, but I do go every day. Then I need to watch more what I eat and make sure I'm getting the right protein in. Because really, for me, going into the gym, most people want to lose weight. I like to gain weight. You know, we all want a big bum and stuff like that. But like in terms of abs, so if I'm working out and I've got like these rock hard abs, then I'm like, oh well, I don't want to have that big fat cake. And I always have 3 courses when I go out to dinner. My friends always laugh, like no one has 3 courses every time they go out for dinner. So yeah, I think it is quite hard maintaining the both sides of the lifestyle. But again, I love fitness. I love the gym. I love like pads and kickboxing and stuff like that. But again, it's just so much time. And I was going to fight last year. So myself, just boxing, and the event didn't go ahead in the end. Probably lucky for me, because then we got really busy, so I don't know how well I would have managed it. But it's definitely something I want to do this year as well. So definitely will be. I don't even know, like maybe MMA, because I do, like I've got these long limbs, you know, I've got some good reach. So yeah, I don't think I could take a kick or sorry, not kick, a bare knuckles to the face. So you won't see me at any BKFC, I'm afraid. Bit too brutal for me. But yeah, in terms of fitness, I absolutely love my fitness. So hopefully this year you'll see me in the cage somewhere, and I can do the cards as well, and then jump back in and have a little scrap. Superwoman.
Like, who is going to be your inspiration? Like, obviously, I've seen people transform into the mixed martial arts. Jake Paul is going to make his MMA debut recently. What do you think of that? Like, Jake Paul recently announced that he's going to fight for PFL MMA. So, do you think you're going to give yourself a chance in the PFL if given a chance?
PFL, absolutely amazing league. They're great fighters and great fights on there. So it's hard, because I think people would say, you know, Jake's not a real fighter, he doesn't deserve it. Some people have worked really hard, and I completely, excuse me, I was really poorly over Christmas as well, so excuse my cough all the time. I think it's easy for people who aren't in that position, who want to be in that position, and other people who have, seen people work really hard to get there, for them to say, that's not fair and things like that. But number one, I'll say life's not fair. If we're going to go around on the premises of not liking things because we want it ourselves, I think that's a bit of jealousy and stuff like that. But then again, I do completely understand, like, it's an amazing sport, combat sports, boxing, MMA. I think that if you're gonna do it, it is fair to give give it its justice, work hard, train hard. I don't think it's fair when we've got these pre-made decisions and things like that. What goes on, I'm sure everyone has their own things to say. So yeah, I think, but again, like I said, Jake brings the amount of, everyone says the same thing, the amount of attention he's brought to the sports, absolutely phenomenal, especially the younger kids. When we're talking about promoting young males, back to Andrew Tate, that's what we want to, not everyone likes combat sports, but it's a good thing to be a part of, being in the gym, teach a discipline, who doesn't want to be healthy? That's a great thing as well. It's a great thing to have on your side, so why not open that up to more people? And at the same time, have respect for the sport, have respect for everyone involved, and appreciate the position that you're in, because it's like I said, I want to fight. I don't have the time to be a full-time fighter. I could never put in the graft that they do. So is it fair for me to say, oh, I want to take part, I want to have a go? But at the same time, I have to think, well, I love it. It's not fair. You can't just say because I haven't done this and this that I can't do it. And like I said, like, you have to give people credits where there's due. If Jake's going to get in the ring and knock someone's head off, then that's that. Hopefully we see some good MMA skills and some good fighting from him, and then everyone has to be quiet if he gets in there and it looks silly and he's not. He looks like he hasn't trained. His body isn't up to what it should be. I think then he'll have that to deal with too.
So that was your opinion. Now you're also going to step inside the cage. So I would like to wish you all the best for it, and like hopefully you don't get injured, and hopefully we can see you win the fight. Thank you so much for joining with us.
The first thing people said was like, what about your face?
Yeah.
What about your teeth? What about blah blah? But if I did fight, like I said, I'll be training hard. I'll be preparing for it, and I don't anticipate anyone coming anywhere near my face. Thank you very much. I'll be sort of handing out the black eyes and the broken jaws and things, hopefully. But like I said, when I do something, I like to really take it seriously, and I believe whatever I want to do, if I put my mind to it, I can do it. So I thank you for your well wishes. I feel like now pressure's on. Now I've said it now, so
hopefully you don't get
you'll
like
be the first one to know.
Hopefully, obviously, and you've been a great personality to talk to. It was a great interaction. Like, hopefully we can connect soon again. So
yes, for sure. And thanks for having me. Thanks for your questions. It's really fun. Really enjoyed it.
Appreciate it. So till then, stay safe and stay well. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining with us. It was Carla Jade, the BKFC ring girl star, with us, and we will connect with us soon again. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and make sure you follow all the girls on our socials. We're Finesse Ring Girls, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and finessemodels.co.uk.
You can check the description below to find all the links. So finally, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining with us. Bye,
Have
everybody.
a great day.